Welcome, everybody. My name is Kyle Raimond. My pronouns are he, she, and they. It's player's choice. And I'm the LGBTQ coordinator here at the University of Rochester. Welcome. Today, I'm very quickly going to go over some identities that all people have as an introduction to some things that you may not have heard before or to some words that you may use to define yourself. To do that, we're going to use a tool called the Gender Unicorn, which many of you may be familiar with from the past. Okay, so one of the things I like to make sure that everybody knows is don't ever ask anybody any of these questions. But it's useful to know what identities are so you understand. First, we're going to talk about sex assigned at birth. Most importantly, do not ever ask anybody this question. Some people have heard this as biological sex, but we call it sex assigned at birth because it's based on the sex that you're assigned by a doctor at birth who is looking at your external genitalia. Biological sex and biology have to do with more things than that. For example, it has to do with chromosomes and some other things. So we call this sex assigned at birth. Female, male, or intersex. Next, we're going to talk about gender identity. This is the little rainbow coming off of the unicorn's head. This is because the unicorn is thinking about gender identity. It's how the unicorn defines itself and how the unicorn experiences gender. For people, you can experience this along spectrums of being a woman, being a man, being other genders, being no gender. Lots of options. Gender expression is next. Using the green dots on the outside of the unicorn, this is the way that a person or a unicorn expresses gender. It can be feminine, masculine, androgynous, none, combination of things. Next, who we're physically attracted to. Sometimes we call this sexually attracted to. It can be to women, men, combination of people, other genders, no genders. Emotionally attracted to, we sometimes call this romantically attracted, can be to women, men, other genders or none, like many of the other things. And this has more to do with who you like doing date-like things with, or who you like holding hands with, or who you like having a close, intimate relationship in that way. And there's nothing sexual involved in that because that would be physically or sexually attracted to. Please know that all of these things operate independently on their own and they're not connected to each other. So people can have experiences on any of these spectrums and they don't inform or mean anything about the others. We talk about these things so that folks understand just a little bit about the different identities that all people have. We also like to talk about a spectrum that isn't present here called the asexuality spectrum. On one side of that is asexual, and that means not sexually attracted to people of any gender. On the other end of the spectrum is sexual. We say that's what you see in movies. Somebody meets somebody and they're attracted to them right away. In the middle is demisexual, and that means you have to get to know somebody before you're attracted to them in a sexual way. Okay, really quickly, we're going to switch gears because again, this was a very quick overview and talk about pronouns. Pronouns can sometimes be related to somebody's gender identity, but not always. People may have heard the pronouns he, him, his, she, her, hers, or they, them. There are other pronouns as well, and sometimes people create their own pronouns. It's important to use the proper pronouns when speaking to people because it's respectful, and we can't tell people's pronouns just by looking at them. So how do you find out somebody's pronouns? The best way to do it is to introduce yourself and use your own pronouns. Hi, I'm Kyle. My pronouns are he, she, they. And then the person can share them back. If you forget to do that, you can do the same thing in the middle of the conversation. Oh, I'm sorry. My pronouns are, say your pronouns, and then ask the person for theirs. If they ask why, say it's because you can't tell by looking at somebody and you just want to refer to them in a way that's respectful. Lastly, if you make a mistake, just apologize and move on. Again, I'm Kyle Raimond. I work in the Paul J. Burgett Intercultural Center, and I would love to talk to everybody who's watching this. So my contact information is here and right at the end of this video, and please feel free to send me a note when we're back on campus. Come by and visit me. Ask to visit my Zoom room. I would Be happy to talk to folks who are members of the community, allies, or folks who just have questions. Thank you so much.